Okay, so we got day 5 here. We're gonna be wiring the van and then we're gonna see how far we get into the insulation. We're gonna be leaving the roof and the floor basically on its own just because we're still gonna be drilling holes in the floor for the water. We're gonna try to put the gray tank and we're gonna try to put the normal water tank in the bottom because we feel like it's valuable space in the van, and I haven't seen anybody kind of try to do that. I've seen people put the gray tank underneath, but not the main water tank, so we're gonna kind of look into that later. We haven't really gotten into water. We wanna be able to finish the ceiling, so one thing that you should really start thinking about is the roof racks and whether or not you need them. Now, for me personally, I feel like being able to go onto the roof, you know, hanging back, kind of doing that kind of deal is important. So, like my dad said, it's kind of like increasing the square footage of your van, you know, like you've got a whole extra floor, a whole extra loft, but those are going to get very pricey. Having roof racks take almost $4,000 out of our budget. That's definitely something to be cautious about, but it's something you're gonna wanna think about kind of around the time you're putting in solar panels. The only thing that's gonna kind of stop you is the way to put the solar panels, you know, in the roof, because we gotta cut a hole in the top of the roof. We're not just getting like basic racks, you know, you gotta get like a full-on kind of catwalk. We went on aluminum, and it said it was gonna take 6 whole weeks to make it, so really think about this early, whether it's worth it to you or not, and how you're going to manage to mount your solar panels, because we're looking up wattage, and you know, if you want to go up there and have a lot of solar, you're gonna have to get creative. All right, so one thing we did was my dad took out these little plastic things. I'm not really sure what they're for, but kind of when you take them out, it's kind of like you can't put them back in, so you know, once you take these out, you're gonna kind of be committed, but at the same time, I'm really not sure what they were for. They went like right here, and I think they just kind of like connected the wall. Another things we took out were the plastic on the back doors, as well as the plastic on the main door, which is open right now. And once you take it out, you don't really got much choice to put it back in, but you're gonna wanna take it out to put sound deadening, and we're gonna put insulation in there. So yeah, pretty simple stuff, but little tidbit, play-by-play kind of deal. We're gonna learn how to use spray foam, yay!
Basically, this thing just screws onto there.
Okay.
It's the gun, but it goes like this.
Oh, okay.
And you go like...
It'll work all the time?
Yeah.
Never fails?
No.
And just let it kind of sit for a second.
Let's leave that for now.
There we go. Okay, now that we've done our sound dampening, before we start doing the installation and start filling a lot of gaps, oh goodness, this part's falling. Oh, it's falling. Ah! I don't know if I should touch that. I should probably wash my hands. Reflective stuff on the ground, because the second you turn around, I can't see nothing! Dad's creating a very fancy setup here. We got 2 wires, one's positive or one's negative. Is that how electricity works? And we're just gonna run those kind of like everywhere that we need 12 gauge power. Now you really gotta think about where you're gonna put a lot of your lights, a lot of your stuff, and I'll kind of show you where I decided to put all my stuff. All right, not gonna lie, my dad's kind of a genius. Pull the wires, they roll out. We got a little hinge here, this is where our system's gonna be, and then we just kind of pull it all the way through. We got our main wire, it's gonna kind of go all the way from here, and this will go into our switch. Some people make the switch at the door, but I figured I kind of want to have mine by my bed, just because it sounds better to me. Make sure there's lots of grunting.
Yes.
And lots of grunting and swearing helps a lot. We're looking like a jungle up in here with all the wires, but essentially what you want to do is you want to make sure you label all of them, and what we're doing right now is we're connecting all the LEDs, so they're going to run in parallel. So we've got, you know, our main power coming in here, and then all of the LEDs are basically connected, so you go from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. Now we chose to have 8 LEDs, which kind of seems like the right amount to do. You know, some people do more and some do a little less. So we're gonna be doing a strip underneath the kitchen like cabinets here, and I'm also gonna have 2 strips, well, in like the garage. So that's kind of all the light I'm gonna have. Yeah, you know, pretty simple. It's kind of hard, you know, at first we were trying to put it like all the way through here. It wasn't really working, so kind of make it simple for yourself. Don't make it really hard to do, because I'm not sure it's even worth it in the end. We're not gonna see it, but my dad looks crazy on all those wires right now. Alright, so that's the end of day 5. We got to do our wiring. The wiring, you know, it seems kind of tricky, but as long as you take it in steps, you know, it's not really that complicated. All you have to do is kind of wire it first, and like you can spend more time thinking about how your power is going to work as far as solar power and, you know, inverters and converters. All you have to do is run the wire first. So just get 12 gauge wire everywhere. It's really just connecting wires. Really not that hard, right? Anyway, wiring, fan. Tomorrow we're going to be headed to a place to get the racks figured out. Until then, see you next time.